throughout the nation and around the globe. From his heart to yours, it's Dear James Live, bringing you intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights. I am your host, DearJames, and together with the unseen, we offer spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. We look at the current energies. We take your questions and comments live and incorporate them throughout the broadcast. And it's been an action-packed time and year. This is certainly one this week, and it's going to set the tone again for the next 6 months. We are entering eclipse season, and it is the first eclipse of 2023. It is today, later tonight, at 9:12 Pacific time, 12:12 in the morning on the 20th on the East Coast. And it's action-packed. It is square, this new moon total solar eclipse. It's an annular eclipse. It's a hybrid eclipse. Hybrid eclipses come about roughly once in a decade. So, and it is going to square Mercury and Pluto. Mercury and Pluto are conjunct. They are just in the first degree of Aries. In Aquarius. And yeah, you want to talk about some heavy, hot energies? Some blow the roof off. Hang on, go as guided, go with the flow. Because they're saying to me in this moment, there ain't no stopping us now. It's that song. I'm not sure. We'll have to put it in the comments. There ain't no stopping us now. And so literally that train that we have been talking about, that train is left the station. We are on it. And I want to jump in and just welcome everybody. Anne, Kelly, Lorna, everybody, put a shout out in the comments that you're joining with us. And remember, your comments and your questions, put them in the comments and we're going to incorporate them live. Anne is saying, oh boy, we are sweating with the energy over here. It's nuts. Yeah, we are all sweating with the energy. And it's very interesting. As you all know, when I do the show, sometimes, I sit down, I listen. Good morning, Brigitte. I listen, and it's this very interesting energy. It's as if we're getting everything all at once, that right place, right time, right everything. And then almost like a stillness, like a quietness, an emptiness, like on one hand, everything, and on another hand, just nothing. It's this very strange, and frenetic is the word that comes to me like this. It's just vibrating at an octave, and it hasn't even happened yet. Here it comes, this evening into tomorrow, depending on where you are around the globe. So let's start with, I'm going to bring up the main theme, and I'm using an image, the background image of that kind of April Easter, because it plays a big role here. The word that I heard, and I'm going to show you an image again if you've been watching the last, 6, 7, 8 shows, you know how the Malibu Times newspaper has been mirroring us and my personal journey. Well, this last weekend is this larger-than-life image of the Easter Bunny, and it said, Easter on the green. And immediately, and I'll show you the image in a second, what I heard was deliverance. And then when I was listening for the notes and everything, they said, bigger than life, presence, deliverance, celebration. It's a bigger than life moment. And so, and you can see the auspiciousness in this. You can see that in those colors, I'm wearing blues, that beautiful kind of fuchsia color. And just to show you quickly, and here is the cover. And you can see this bigger than life Easter Bunny. This bigger than life celebration. And remember, Easter is the commemoration of the resurrection. It is about our deliverance. That moment of resurrection delivered us from death. It delivered us. It saved us, in essence. That is the eternal promise. That is the celebration of it. It's the commemoration of it. And so you can see where we've got these bigger than life presence, deliverance, celebration. And it takes me to this beautiful, I want to go to, because I've had this word up, I'm bringing it up on the screen. It's a Sumerian word, and it's called Amaji. And literally, what it means in Sumerian is return to the mother. It represents freedom, and it represents manumission. And I'm just going to read to you a little bit this definition. And I've had this up. This word came to me from Intuited, and I kept hearing it. And then you go to Google, and this was, I mean, a good 3 years, 4 years ago. And I kept up the tab because I knew that it played a role. And it says, Amaji is a Sumerian word. It has been translated as freedom as well as manumission. And manumission is I'm drawing a blank on the word. Enfranchisement, that's it. It is being liberated, set free, and exemption from debts or obligations, and the restoration of a persons and property to their original status, including the remission of debts. In other interpretations, it includes a reversion to a previous state, a release from debt, slavery, taxation, punishment. The word originates from the noun ama, mother, and the present participle ji, return, restore, put back, thus literally meaning return to the mother. Assyriologist Samuel Noah Kramer has identified it as the first known written reference to the concept of freedom, referring to its literal meaning, return to the mother, and wrote about it in 1963. We still do not know why, he put in quotes, we still do not know why this figure of speech came to be used for freedom. But the point here is that this has all been about this return, this being moved, advanced to a new state of being. And here is this epic, powerful moment where Pluto has just moved into Aquarius, and it's the first eclipse of this year. Mercury and Pluto conjunct together in Aquarius at this 0 degree. And Mercury, how we think, how we communicate. The very next day on Friday, we have Mercury going retrograde. So we revisit things. We go back and look at how we're communicating, how we speak, what we didn't see. But the going back is a return. It's a return. It's a forward movement. It's not literally going back. It's a forward movement. It's advancing. And this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of the return to the mother. And we've been taught and told about this in the shows, where this force, this energy, where the divine feminine is returning, claiming her rightful place. And we can see this, and we can see in the energies of the times and in our world, and how much fear is attached to that. How much fear of what the patriarchal rule has created, and them not wanting to relinquish that control, that power, that enslavement. And we've also known from the shows that it's this journey from Exodus to revelations. And revelations is an awakening, this awakening of something that has been maybe veiled, hidden, veiled, or oppressed or suppressed. And how revelatory that is, how it quantum leaps. Remember, we're going to quantum leap. And so there's this bigger than life presence, deliverance of this moment. And these energies are intense. You can be experiencing everything from, restlessness, agitation, sleeplessness, sleepless nights, things like that, dizziness, just what appears to feel like a sense of dis-ease. And you can feel it. You can feel that something's shifting and changing. You can see in the headlines that people are reacting. They're not responding, they're reacting. So be really mindful in these, certainly right now, this moment, and then as you move into these 6 months, because the next set of eclipses occurs in October of this year. But just be mindful to respond. Take a breath, take a beat, think before you speak, think before you tweet, type, think. And really think meaning feel, if you're feeling anger, frustration, resentment, anything that's shadow, allow that moment to pass before, so that you respond, you don't react. Very, very, very important. And I just want to bring this, I'm going to bring this image up again. Imaji. Return to the mother. Just keep, and this will be in the show thread for everyone to look at, download. There's such power in this word, in this name, in this freedom, this liberation, this return to the mother, this being saved. And being saved meaning we all chose. Being saved doesn't mean that we're a victim or we're in need of something. What it means is that we all chose actively. We were active in our choice to choose this beautiful return to the mother, this saving, this return. It's beautiful and it's empowering, it's powerful. And again, remember they were saying we come in together, we do this together. Well, that instantly embodies, reinforces choice. We're choosing. And again, remember, there will be those that do not choose this. And we can see that playing out on a world stage and in our communities, in our homes, in our governments and institutions, cleaving to an old way, cleaving to that train that has come in and docked and it's done. It's not going, it goes nowhere. It doesn't reverse out. It's just done. So I'm just looking at your comments. AN saying, return to Mother Earth, roots of the bringing into being. Exactly. The nourishment of all. I mean, the life force, the nourishment of all. Brigitte is saying, it's an option if one needs it. Another opportunity if needed to clear. But don't look for stuff. If we look for the stuff to clear, it will be provided. Exactly. There's going to be this point, and you're going to see how that's such a beautiful timeline. I'm just going to bring it up, Brigitte, because you're hitting on it right away. That what we have here, and Olivia is mentioning that there may be a delay in my speech versus what you're seeing. We're right at Mercury retrograde. So again, depending on everyone's signals, it may be delayed, but not, there's a beautiful saying, right? I think it's justice delayed is justice denied. There's going to be this justice moment. There's going to be this epiphany moment. There's going to be this deliverance. And I'm just wanting to bring up with going to Brigitte. It's the Two of Swords. They said, Two of Swords, no matter the choice, inner vision wins the day. And what you see on your screen is this beautiful image of, again, divine feminine, blindfolded, two swords, perfectly crossed, perfectly balanced. She's one with the swords, the blindfold, the moment, the present moment. She's sitting comfortably. She's upright. The beauty of the moon, it's a crescent moon. So it's denoting a new moon. It's waxing. It's coming to life. You see behind, and when you really look at this image, directly over the top of her head in the clouds, in the whiteness of the clouds, you see what appears to be like Father Time, like this face Kronos, Saturn, the teacher, wisdom, this teacher of this life force. And then you see the waters, and they're like still waters, and then there's some outcroppings, and then land in the distance. She's on land. You see the fertile green, and yet she's also sitting on stone. Stone amplifies. It has a crystal nature in stone. And so the beauty here, and what they're saying is Two of Swords. It can denote a crossroads. It can denote choices that need to be made. It can denote the need for balance and harmony. These, and we don't outwardly, like Brigitte is commenting, we don't need to outwardly look for it. No matter the choice, inner vision wins. It's an internal knowing. So we go back to the need for us to listen. Listen to your soul source connection. Listen to your intuitive knowing. You can call it intuition, you can call it gut, you can call it knowing, however you wish to identify with it. And you'll know that it's different than mind. Mind is yep. That's the mind, a monkey mind, ego mind, personality. Soul, inner knowing, inner peace, inner balance, inner wisdom. And so they're really saying, as you're looking at what's happening right now in your life, go as guided. Take the necessary steps for what you know, internally you know, is right. Even and especially when you can't see down and around the corner. But you know, it's a knowing, you know. And so we talk about this a lot. So because it's going to be this moment, and eclipses, remember, they eclipse things out, they bring things in. It is a new moon eclipse, so it's going to usher in new. And in the comments of the show, I also talked about the power of Pluto. And so, because again, it's going to square Pluto. And they gave me this beautiful piece that, sorry, I'm just moving my screens around here so that I get to the right thing. So Pluto, Mercury retrograde, here we go. So Pluto is the outermost planet in our solar system. It's the farthest from the sun. It was discovered in 1930, so relatively new to us with modern technology that we were able to discover it. It takes 246 years to make one revolution. That's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing. Because the power of Pluto, make no mistake, it is the ruler of the underworld. The world was divided, or the creation was divided into three aspects: the heavens, the waters, the sea, and the underworld. And it says Pluto's energy may be subtle at times, but its results will hit you like a ton of bricks. This planet is about transformation, regeneration, and rebirth. Things aren't pretty with Pluto, but they do get done. Pluto says, out with the old, in with the new, and we'd better be ready for it. And we'd better be, and this is coming from astrology.com, we'd better be ready for it. We keep saying you've got a golden ticket. Don't be late to the party. You're the guest, not the host. The faster you open and surrender and embrace, the easier this is. The more rapidly you advance or move forward, move to, release, let go. The definition of suffering is attachment. Let go of attachment. Good, bad, and otherwise. Remember, let go of our attachments to things. Be open to allowing, to creating space, to allow what your soul said it would do. And yes, Olivia, so 246 years ago, like for the United States, that was, so Pluto entering Aquarius at this moment in time happened around 1777 forward, and it stays for 20 years in one sign. So at this revolution, at this moment, it was the French revolutions, the American revolutions, the Industrial Revolution, the Age of Enlightenment, all of these things that expanded us, liberated us. Look at that, these liberations, deliverance from an oppressive state. Exodus, Revelation, this freeing, this liberating, and here this return to the mother, that she is liberating us she is liberating us from the shackles of her demise, meaning the illusion of her demise. We've been so separated from her, and it was purposeful and necessary. This is why, again, we do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. We do not allow yourselves to become the oppressed, to become the oppressor. Do not react, respond. Really go internally and see, listen to your divine wisdom, to your soul source connection. It's too easy. It's just too easy to, act as the shadow, act as that fear-based element. Because remember, not all masculine is bad, not all feminine is good. There must be Two of Swords. There must be harmony and balance. And let me just bring this image back up again, because, again, look at her. She's not struggling with these two swords. They're absolutely perfectly balanced. She has great wisdom, great knowing. She is one with the entire present moment of her existence, her being. And by being blindfolded, any allusion to obstacles or challenge or shadow is removed. It dissipates. It goes away. Why? Because she's able to see clearly. She sees because she's blindfolded. Inner wisdom, inner truth, inner knowledge, divine soul source connection. And this is the opportunity. This is the now. This is that moment where this is the beauty of the return and the empowerment of the divine feminine. She's not fighting. She's not slaying. She's not struggling. She's in perfect harmony, balance, oneness. It's a beautiful image. It comes from the Rider-Waite deck in the tarot. So back to Pluto. If we're not ready, we better be ready for it. If we're not, this planet will simply have us wallow in our misery. And see, again, if you're not advancing, if you're not on the new train, advancing forward, moving with the flow, reaching forward, you're in misery. You're wallowing in your own misery. Pluto asks us to transcend that which we know, redeem ourselves in the process, and come out stronger as a result. So yes, it's like the temperance card. It's like that forging, that temperance card of we put into the forge iron ore, raw material, and it gets heated up. So there's a process, and there's this, this kind of pounding, forming, shaping, honing that's going on. To what degree are you allowing? To what degree are you saying yes? To what degree are you openly embracing? To what degree are you closing your eyes and listening to your inner voice to guide you? Not your monkey mind, not ego mind personality, not what we quote unquote see on the surface. That's easy. It's what do we know? What do we hear? It says, for all that Pluto recreates, creates and recreates, return, because it also governs the reproductive system. It loves to destroy. Destroy meaning dismantle. Because it rules the underworld. It rules what's hidden from the light. And so it knows. It knows the dark side. It knows the underbelly. It knows the shadow. And its purpose, it gets a bad rap. Its purpose isn't to be a bastion for that. It's to be a container to collect, to see it, to hold it, and then rise it up. And it's in these returns, rise it up to the light, rise it up to the surface. And again, we're seeing this play out. All of these shadowy, I want to use a cuss word, but I'm not, rhymes with kitty. All of these energies are being, shadow elements are being raised up to be seen. And so it can be the shadow element, the fall of the divine masculine. It's the shadow element of that we're cleansing, that we're releasing, that we're purifying. Because remember, again, too much of either one is too much. It means we're not in balance. We're in dis-ease. We're not in harmony with one another or self. So again, too much divine feminine, too much nurse. It's like you're being drowned. It's too much of a good thing, not enough of a good thing. So this beautiful moment, this is it's just fascinating, and it talks about, is this the story of good versus evil? Yes. And our need not to eradicate the shadow, not to kill it. We say this over and over again, we need a healthy mind, ego, spirit, personality. We absolutely need that in resonance and harmony and balance with the divine, the nourishment, the knowing, the intuitive. Because together they work. You want to talk about a power couple? Imagine yourselves. Imagine when your divine masculine and your divine feminine, your shadow and your light are perfectly balanced, beautifully harmonic, pure, operating. Oh, I received this. Okay, now how do I execute? Oh, I went to but oh no, oh wait, hold on a second. Hold up. And that trust, that knowing, that they're saying that inner yearning to be free, to be released, meaning to be in that state of being. It's powerful. No one will deny Pluto's power. It rules atomic power too, and its intensity. So we've got a new moon, total solar annular eclipse. It's a hybrid eclipse, twice, maybe in a 10-year period, squaring Pluto and Mercury in Aquarius in this revolutionary moment at the 0 degree, because remember, 29 and 0. And it says this planet knows how to push buttons. The energy is often focused on the masses and what the collective will do. Pluto beseeches the masses to look inward and to their subconscious to see what's there. It may be scary, but Pluto doesn't care. Why? Because it's purposeful. We need to bring this guck, this hidden stuff up, out, and transmute it. Energy can only be transmuted. So like the Temperance card, the Forge, we pound out the impurities. It's not a mean process. It's not a destructive process in the sense of harmful. It is literally meant for benefit. So see all of these changes, because that's the other actionary thing here is, remember this image from a few shows ago, 555. 555 represents changes. It's neither good nor bad. It's divine and neutral, the change. It simply represents advancement, change. And it goes with our mantra. This mantra comes from astrology.com as well, and I'm borrowing it because it was so powerful. I surrender to change and am unafraid. I surrender to change and am unafraid, because this change is going to trigger you. It's triggering us. You can see it. You can see what's happening with people, and they are reacting, not responding. They're reacting because they're being triggered. The fear is loud. The transformation is loud. The change is loud. The energy is loud. It's loud, loud, loud. And so people, it's frenetic. And yet there's also something that's really, really good, because it's advancing us. Remember this image, advance, and how beautiful that beautiful yellow orange light. It's good, it's yummy. And it goes here with the astrological influences. Total solar eclipse. And remember, oh my gosh, I don't know how many shows back, the Bonnie Tyler song, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And remember from last week, what you see is what you get. Open your eyes. Heart, mind, beingness. Why? Because the heart leads the way. It's a complete change of mind, body, soul, and spirit. The heart leads the way. Feel, know, sensory, meaning feel it, know it. It's a sensory thing. It's an internal job. So this moment is really asking us, as we go through the forge, as we go through the fire, as we are delivered, to I surrender to change and am not afraid. Astrological influence, you can see, and look again, remember, we had the new moon at 0 degrees Aries back on the 21st of March. Now it's going to be the 19th, 20th of April, and the new moon is at 29 degrees of Aries. It's rare that we have double new moons in the same astrological sign. 0 and 29, beginnings and endings, this cycle, this completion. Then we have the sun squaring Pluto, and the sun and the new moon, this eclipse squaring the sun and Mercury. I'm sorry, Pluto and Mercury. So, and then Mercury goes retrograde in an earth sign, Taurus, earth sign, meaning it's going to be tangible. So what comes out of this moment is tangible. Earth, physical being, our physical lives, our literal experiences, our literal world advancing. We're going to be able to see it, touch it, feel it, taste it. And they're saying in the moment, leave no stone unturned. Don't shy away from anything. Don't run away from anything. Face things head on in the most positive, beautiful, I surrender to change and am not afraid manner. There's nothing we don't have. There's nothing we can't overcome, achieve, receive. It's present. We have it. Brigitte is saying, how would we navigate caring for a senior that is so stuck in the old ways and impeding our forward movement? Surrender, surrender, surrender. Meaning, remember, it's that beautiful quote, one of the most challenging things is to allow another their soul's journey. We have no control over another soul. None. We may present ourselves, we may mirror, we may offer, and then we are to surrender, release, let go, advance. They will either come of their own accord or they won't. And so caring for does not mean saving. No one can save us but us. Soul source connection. It's an inside job. It's a soul source job, connection, job. So care for that person, but don't think that it's your responsibility to quote unquote save them. And certainly don't allow the care for that individual to hold you back. That's not your job. That's not what's on offer here. Unless you want it to be. Right? Because the soul has many potentials, many possibilities, many ways to experience or achieve or get to a destination via a different route, a different journey. However, primarily, it's important to remember it's not your soul's journey to save another soul. You can't. It's impossible. You can only mirror to them. You can only offer. And then as you continue to go as guided, as you continue to listen and move forward. So let's look at our main energies, because it brings in, and if you're noticing, there's a lot of these pastel colors, beautiful pastel colors, blue, and the pastels with the yellows, the oranges, the blue, the green, and you remember how much the green. Here's our weekly Wisdom and Insights main energies. So it's a 4-month, so we've had youthful folly, try again, revolution, coming back around, be childlike. 19, today is approach, advance, and we're going to get to hexagram 19. 7, it's a 7-year, all year long. So this armies, legions, correct discipline. We have everything we need, respond, don't react. And then 14, because the 4 and the 1 and the 9 become a 14. Great possessing, shine, it's time to shine. And remember, we have that beautiful image. I'm going to bring it up really quickly. Time to shine, step by step, putting it together. So step by step, we shine. We put it together and we shine. That's what this is talking about. And then it culminates in a 21-3, which is the difficulties in the beginning, but it's to persevere. Because remember, we're returning to the mother. And we can see how it's challenging in the beginning, even if we're really on board with it, right? Because you may be on the train where you're like, woo, let's go. I'm ready. I've been waiting for this. I'm ready to advance it. I'm fully open to the beauty of the Great Mother, the Divine Feminine, matriarchal rule, which is the harmony and the balancing of the Divine Masculine Feminine. This raising everyone up, responding, not reacting, listening, respecting, having a discussion, not a screaming match. And it takes me to this part, because the last thing they said here, they said, it's too easy. It's just that easy. Flow, trust, go. And it was very interesting because they were basically saying, it's too easy. Like, we may have this interpretation where we look at something and go, it's too easy. That it's too good to be true. It's too easy. And they said, and it's just that easy. It's just that simple. So again, be mindful. What are the stories? What are the truths, the stories, the scripts, the roles, the words that come out of your mouth? What are you telling yourself? Because you'll catch yourself. You're going to catch yourself saying, well, I can't do this unless that, or I can't because I have this, I can't. It's just that easy. It's too easy. It's so simple to correct it. It's so simple to catch yourself and go, nope, that's not true. That's an illusion. That's a script and a story I'm telling myself that keeps me where I am. And what is that really saying? That's keeping me safe, unbeknownst to us, subconsciously. And remember, this is Pluto, the power of the subconscious coming out to say, see, now why are you telling yourself that story? What purpose does it serve? Oh, well, I'm maybe afraid to advance, or I'm afraid to let go, or I'm afraid to do this on my own, or I'm afraid. Well, this is monumental change, bigger than life, presence, deliverance, change, joy. It may come with Pluto kicking our butts. It may come. It's almost like, that expression, don't let the door hit you. It's like Pluto's going wham, this eclipse and everything, the sun, the moon, this eclipse, bam, it's knocking us forward. And there's the beautiful return to the mother. There's Amaji with her arms wide open going, I got you, boo. I got you. I got you, babies. We just, and so be willing to go. Instead of getting hit in the backside, be willing to go. Be proactive, not reactive. Respond, don't react. It's too easy. It's just that easy. And yet we make it complicated because we're telling ourselves stories because we're afraid. And the fear is over. That is over. And again, we've got our mantra here. I surrender to change and am unafraid. So let's move into, let me just make sure. Yes, Elizabeth saying living moment to moment. So it's to live in the present moment. Be in the present moment. Face your fears. We all have them, and we're purifying them. In the temperance, we are pounding them out, meaning releasing them, facing them, letting them go. They hold no power or dominion over us anymore. We can choose, because it's too easy, it's just that easy, we can choose to see our stories, see our fears, see them, and in this powerful moment of transformation, of advance, let them go. Let's go see what's on the other side. Now, we're humans, right? So there's a little bit of an irony there because humans love safety, repetition, knowing what we know, liking what we like, disliking what we dislike. We build these walls, these boxes, these stories to keep ourselves safe. Heaven forbid we would show up and say, with calmness, with reason, with respect, with courtesy, with depth of character, with our soul leading, and say, share with me, show me, enlighten me. Namaste, I bow to the divine in you. That means namaste when as a salutation, as a custom, it's saying, I see the divine in you, because we're reflecting back to one another. So we've got to be open to see it. everything's divine and neutral. It's just that easy. It's just that simple. So as we go to, and let me know how this is resonating in the comments. It's fascinating. I love how this all comes together each time. So here is hexagram 19, and it is literally known as approach. Its action is advance. You can't make this stuff up. Its hidden influence, 24, return. Return to the mother, return. Its underlining cause, 33, retreat, disengage. It's to retreat and disengage from an old way. It's complete. It's done. And now we are to, they're showing me like a person, a hoarder, like somebody that just collects and collects and collects and never lets go of anything. And eventually it's so cluttered that you can barely move. Like there's a minor little trail path that you can barely get through. So you're not really truly living because you're so burdened, weighted down. And yet the illusion is, well, because I have all of this stuff, I'm safe. But someone amasses all of that because they feel like they're not safe. They're exposed. And so what they're showing us in this moment is, in this retreat, disengage, let go. Again, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Step by step, putting it together, we take the necessary steps to release, to cleanse, to purify, to transmute. So that at the point that in the analogy of the hoarder, and with the Brigitte, with the caregiving and everything, if that person who is the hoarder isn't willing, will not budge, there is nothing you can do. Because that person, that soul, isn't having it. So unless or until they're ready, they're not ready. Pluto says, you better be ready, because one way or another, because something can come along and, boom, that's just gone. Oh, you won't do it? Okay, no problem. And it's soul by soul. Okay. But when they are, we can walk with each other. But what happens is we keep the best of the best. And we can do this in our own lives. We can do this with, and I know this may sound harsh, but people, relationships, places, things, objects, stuff. The more you are willing to purge that which is shadow, that which is holding you back, the lighter you become, the freer you become. And that's rippling out. That's increasing your light. Is there a process? Can it be heavy and daunting? Can it feel like it's just utter hell? Yes. Okay. And yet, what's on the other side? Something far more expansive. So there's this beauty, and it says, and I'm going to bring up this image of this beautiful quote. And I'm here, there's all these live oaks everywhere here, and it says, in creating, the only hard thing is to begin. Take the first step, piece by piece, step by step, putting it together. A grass blade's no easier to make than an oak. It's a quote by James Lowell. So again, whether it's a blade of grass or a mighty oak, the process is the same. That's what they're saying to us. And it's talking about earth above joy offers an opportunity where one is favored by circumstances and superiors to advance or receive a promotion, a leveling up. Joy rises to permeate the earth. The hidden influence of return allows you to connect to your center, where you can express your talents while at the same time demonstrating your integrity. This all speaks to higher octave. the depth of your character, the shining of your light, the leveling up, the raising up of something. It's not down in the gutter, in the back room, doing dirty and all that. That's shadow. That's like deep underbelly Pluto. And Pluto's here and saying, no, no, I'm full up. The cup is overflowing with all of this. We need to empty the cup. We need to purify the vessel. We need to clean this out, because the density and the weight of this muck and guck and dis-ease and dysfunction and so forth needs to be cleansed, purified, transmuted. It's time. So each of us, take your steps. I mean, I really, they're imploring us, take the necessary steps. It can be the simplest of things. Start with whatever belongings and this and that, whatever. Purify, cleanse, donate, give away, sell. All of these things to lighten. And again, be willing, as scary as it is, be willing to release people, places, things that if they're holding you back and they won't change, or it's time to go, or you just know it, job, location, city, home, relationship, friendship, whatever it may be, lighten, purify, lighten the load, transmute. Now is the time to show others that you have a sincere desire to advance. Because remember, we're mirrors for everyone. We're all showing up as souls, playing the part the soul said it asked of each of us to play, to advance, to ascend, to transcend. Not to go backwards, but to go forward, up, higher. Approach is a message about making or seeking contact. Making or seeking contact. Amaji, a return to the mother. This liberation, this freeing. No more enslavement. We're done with it. No more. And yet, look at the power structures, the patriarchal rule, cleaving, trying to reclaim this kind of oppressive, suppressive power, enslavement, control. And it's as dangerous and scary as it is, it's laughable, because that ship has sailed. That train is done, dead, over, complete, finished. No more. Time to advance. So this seeking of contact, and it's the Divine Mother. I mean, it's like, oh, how yummy is that? I mean, it's so good. Anyways, the underlining cause for this hexagram is that a period of retreat should now lead to advance. See, this period of retreat for 2,000 plus years, she has been veiled, hidden, oppressed, suppressed, maligned, mistreated, all out of fear. Why? Because she was and is so great, so powerful, so beautiful, that somehow that was intimidating. But that's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is her return, our leveling up, our lifting up. And thus again, should you feel as though you have been the oppressed, be really mindful, be really, really mindful with yourself to not become the oppressor, because that's too easy. It's just that easy. They're telling us the same thing for both. They're telling us it's just too easy. It's just that easy. to take the lower road, for the oppressed to become the oppressor. It's effortless. It requires nothing of you. And yet, equally, when you choose to take the higher road, the higher octave, the purity of the divine feminine, you align with that. You cleanse your palate, your vessel, your life, your being. It's just that easy. It's too easy because you realize, oh, that wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be. Oh, because I'm just vibing. I'm grooving in that lane. And so it just becomes more and more effortless because you're just one with that. And again, Two of Swords, perfectly balanced. So it is this time to advance, and things move in cycles. So we want to capture. So they said in this way, we go inward and outward in fixed rhythms. And that's an interesting thing. Patriarchal, divine masculine is outward. It's seen with our eyes. It's masculine. It's mental. It's an outward way of living. So we go in these cycles. Well, this cycle of inward. Well, inward is intuition, knowing, nourishment, love. It's emotion. It's feeling. It's our soul source connection. The Two of Swords. She's blindfolded. She must go in for the answers. And then because she's operating from the inside out, we have a more beautiful state of being, a bigger than life, presence, opportunity, deliverance. The moment is ripe and won't last forever. So seize the opportunity to make your approach. Now is the time to reach out to others or expect that they will enjoy hearing your ideas. Your confidence is appreciated and your demeanor is non-threatening. Even in small ways, you will discover that if you open yourself to helping others, you will discover untapped potential. Go for it and enjoy this time of approach. It may not last forever, but it's going to last for the next 2,000 plus years. So the time is now, and certainly the time is now in this, because they said no longer awaiting the arrival of the new, time to act. We're no longer waiting for our ships to come in. We're no longer waiting for the divine feminine to return. She's here. She's present. The writing's on the wall. You've got the golden ticket. You're on the train. You're going forward. So there's no longer awaiting the arrival. The only thing that will keep you waiting or awaiting something is you. Script, story, belief, fear. So again, our mantra. I keep repeating, and forgive me. It's a powerful, I didn't know what I was, it was like, I sat here listening before leading up to the show, and I'm like, it's like I have everything in a knowing and nothing. Everything in a knowing and nothing. And now what I'm realizing in the moment, I surrender to change and I'm unafraid. But what I'm realizing in this, let me know if this is true for you. Because see, what that's saying to me is, when I mentally think, when I'm mental about what's the show, what's the message, it's as if it's blank. That's mental thinking. It's an external act of something. And yet in a knowing, oh, I know everything. It comes together. It presents itself. It's a feeling. I get the whole picture and I get everything in one picture. So it's an everything and a nothing, because they're transitioning. They're remember, we've changed trains. We've crossed the platform. So this is now about the new, which is about listening. Listen to your soul. Not your fear, not your ego, mind, personality. Soul. And again, it will come to you. However it comes to you, connect with it. And listen to it, and do not let fear obstruct you. Do not let fear obstruct you. Fear is your friend. It will either immobilize you or be a catalyst to advance you, to move you forward. And so that is where we're going to leave off. And they said one last thing. We're leaving off this week with It is, quote, the beauty of the maiden, end quote. And then they put stars around it. So this message, this moment, what's on offer is the beauty of the maiden, is the beauty of the new, the renewal, the divine feminine, that beautiful divine force that is literally going to ripple through us and knock us forward in the most beautiful way, is the way I'm hearing it. So I love you all. I love all of your comments. I absolutely appreciate that you show up each week and spend this time with us. And I cannot wait to see. I'm going to be off next week as I hear it. In transition, advancing. I will no longer be where you see I am. So as we pick this up in the first week, I think it's the 3rd of May, as we pick this up and journey on between now and then, go as guided, be really good to yourself and others, and just keep this beautiful mantra, I surrender to change and am unafraid. Just keep repeating it to yourself, keep embracing it, and keep going as guided as you know to go. Because there's such a beautiful, there's so much right there in the present moment for us. So I love you, I love you, I love you all. I will see you the 3rd of May, and I will drop some notes to see where we are. And please do the same. Jump in the comments and share. Where are you letting go? What fear came up? What was something that was a change? And how did you move through it and release it? Just keep sharing that if you feel comfortable. You can private DM me if you'd like, but just let's keep the dialogue going, because it's such a beautiful journey and we're doing it together. So thank you all so much, and I will see you May 3rd.
You've been listening to Dear James Live. Gain intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions, and so much more by tuning in next week and visiting DearJames.com.